What's going on, guys? So I'm still out here in Michigan at the Ford Proving Grounds, and we have two gorgeous trucks right here. We have one Lariat F250, and then we have an XL F250. Both of these have the standard power stroke, not the high output. You can tell because it says 6.7 in black. If these had the high output, that would be in red. That said, though, they are very proud of the fact that these trucks can be utilized as a mobile office. And I'm kind of familiar with some of those features, right? I've had a Super Duty. I've had several Super Duties for a while, but they're going to give me kind of a guided tour of exactly how you can utilize these trucks as a mobile office, because a lot of people work from their trucks. A lot of people just simply travel in their trucks. If you're in an RV and you might want to take a nap, or you might need to fill something out or do some computer work if you're on the road. So we're going to take a deeper dive into the mobile office capabilities of the Ford Super Duty. Hang tight, I'll be right back. Okay, so we're going to start with this red Lariat truck. This truck has the Pro Power on board, which is really awesome, and that'll actually be pretty important when we start talking about the power output from the various 120 outlets that are on this thing. And the goal here ultimately is to set you up in an environment that you can actually get work done, or you can relax, or you can do a combination of both. So what's really nice about how they've set this up from a productivity perspective is, first of all, this has the max reclining seats, which means we might be here for a little while, but these seats will actually recline almost completely flat. And that's going to give you, of course, the ability to recline and relax whenever you need to recharge at a gas station, or you simply need to rest. And you can see how the center portion right here even comes up a little bit. But that is really cool. And this is new to Super Duty, so this isn't a feature that they've had. Now, many of the trucks, the seats have been able to recline pretty far, but you can see you have to lift the back cushion actually up, I think. Let me move to this side. Yeah, so you'd have to lift this back cushion up in order to have the seat recline all the way down. Otherwise, there would be some interference there. But that is really, really cool. And I think that there's a lot of folks who utilize these trucks for service work, or for hot shot work, or just over the road work, or they're camping and they need a break. They pull over at a rest stop and they need to be able to put the seat back and just relax. So that's really cool what they've been able to do here. This specific truck also has the Pro Power on board. So what's really cool about this is it's got a 2000, I think it's 20 amps, 120 volt AC, but it's got 2,400 watts worth of overall AC power, and that's shared amongst the three outlets. So you have one up here, one right here, and then you also have some here in the back of the truck. And again, it's shared across all of those connection points, so you don't want to run that much power off of each individual point, but you can definitely run up to 20 amps worth of power off of 110, which is really cool. Also, some really nice features. This one does have the upfitter switches, in case you're wondering if these trucks still come equipped with them. It does. And I don't believe this one actually has the center console that can turn around and fold flat, but on the truck behind me, you'll actually see how you can utilize that and how you can kind of turn this into a workspace, which is really nice. I do love the fact that they give you wireless charging plus a ton of connection points. So you got power points all over. You have a 12 volt outlet right there, as well as a 12 volt outlet here behind the seat. And then you have USB-C outlets all over the place, plus a USB connection as well. So you have USB right there. And then you also have a really cool feature that they built in right here. So whenever you're charging your phone and you plug your phone into the bottom, they have these little holes in the bottom here that the cords can actually extend through, so you don't have your phone all sitting funny, or you don't have to put it sideways whenever you're charging it with a traditional style charger. Again, really thoughtful in terms of how they've executed on the interiors of these trucks and how they've designed them so you can use them in a work environment. And I think probably the big tell here is just the seat. This is really, really cool. And it's just something that's unique, but at the same time it's needed in this industry of people who utilize Super Duty trucks, 3/4 ton up trucks, as hot shot or as work trucks, and they just need a comfortable place to lay down whenever they're taking a break. Anyways, we're going to hop over to the next truck and take a closer look at it. Okay, so now we're taking a closer look at this XL package, which is the work truck package, and this has a really cool feature. This is called the interior work surface right here, and you can see that, well, if I get inside of this truck, how if you have your computer right here, you can open it up and you have a really good area to work from. I love the fact that it comes with the 8-inch screen regardless. It has a standard key as well, so if you don't like push button start, this might be the truck for you. But this is a flip up armrest as well, so you actually have a bench row up front. Now these seats do not fully recline, but to give you kind of an idea It's a vinyl seat, non-power. But to give you kind of an idea of what it kind of looks like when it's in its maximum reclined position, it still reclines pretty dang far. So it's going to give you a good ability to kind of recline and relax a little bit if you're going to be inside of this vehicle. But this also has a lot of really cool perks, such as you got all your upfitter switches up here. Down below, you have a 12-volt outlet right here. You know me, I love these 12-volt outlets. USB, USB-C, and then you have another 12-volt outlet right there, and you have a 110 outlet right below it. So that is really nice. Got a lot of power points on this truck. And coming to the back, you can see just how far the seat is reclined. Over here, you have additional 12-volt outlet and 2 USB-C jacks, plus a nice cool pocket underneath the seat area right there, plus lockable storage underneath the seats, or at least this one does not have it, but that truck does have the lockable storage underneath the seats as well. Very nice. Basically, you know, if you are in a work environment and you need a truck that gives you some capability of staying productive while you're on the road, maybe at a truck stop or at a gas station, this is a really cool package because it gives you a lot of that convenience, a lot of those features that you might need for your work, while at the same time, you're doing a really cool package that gives you the ability to rest and relax when you need to as well. Now, real quick, everyone always wants to know when you're looking at an XL model truck, especially 3/4 ton F250, you know, this is a 4-wheel drive truck, very stripped down in terms of amenities and features. Well, let's take a look at the cargo capacity on this one. So this F250 is going to have a 2,534 pound cargo capacity. This may not seem as high as you might expect, but part of the reason for that is because this specific truck has a 10,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating. So it doesn't have one of those increased gross vehicle weight ratings that you've seen on some trucks. Not only that, this truck has a diesel engine. It's not the high output, but it's still a diesel engine, which is a heavier, larger engine than the gas options, as well as the fact that it's 4-wheel drive and it's a crew cab truck. And all of that added together really equals a cargo capacity that's reduced. If this had a gas engine, this number would be closer to probably, you know, 3,200 pounds. If it didn't have 4-wheel drive, if it was just a 2-wheel drive truck, it'd probably be 3,500 pounds. So everything you add to a truck is going to take away from that number right there. Let's go take a look at that F250 Lariat next to it. All right. So stepping back up to this truck, this one has a cargo capacity of 3,250 pounds. Gross vehicle weight rating on this truck is 11,100 pounds. So the gross vehicle weight rating on this vehicle is actually 1,100 pounds greater than the truck behind me, which means if this truck had the same 10,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating as the work truck behind me, this number right here would be 1,100 pounds less than what you currently see it as, which means this truck would have like a 2,150 pound cargo capacity, which would be lower than the truck behind me. But typically whenever you see that, they've done some things to increase its cargo capacity. So let's take a look back here. You have 4 leafs with 1 smaller overload. Let's look at that truck. And with the 10,000 pound, look, you have 3 leafs with no overload spring. So whenever we talk about gross vehicle weight rating and we look at the capabilities of trucks, you also have to look at how that changes the actual suspension, how that changes how the truck is actually constructed. So that truck over there, still an F250, not the high output engine. This truck has 3 leaf springs, no overload, where that truck has 4 leaf springs plus an overload. Okay, so now we're moving over here. This is to demonstrate the Pro Power on board as well as the cargo bed productivity. Now, there's a lot of cool stuff going on in the bed of this truck, and it really can't be understated because you guys have designed a truck that is to be used for work, for entertainment, for a variety of different things. So if you want to, real quick, can you kind of walk me through what you've done here at the bed of this truck?
Yeah, so we have, like you said, we have a variety of customers, people who use their trucks during the week for their professions, also on the weekends. And so during the week, they're looking to power their power tools, or on the weekends, do stuff with their campers. So for 23 model year, we've added Pro Power on board to Super Duty, which in Super Duty comes in 2 kilowatts of power. You have 2 outlets in the bed of the truck that are 120 volt, 20 amps, and also another outlet on the inside of the truck, also 20 amps. So you can pull that full 2 kilowatts from inside the cab or at the bed, or split it up between the outlets. Here on the truck and on the table are kind of a mix of tools that some of our customers may use at the work sites. These run about the max output of the system, close to 2,000 kilowatts. we can flip it on right now if you like to check it out.
So, and before you do that, most of these things are going to pull between about 10 and 15 amps, depending on their size. Some of them will pull more. Definitely an air compressor pulls some power. Usually there's a sticker on here that'll tell us exactly what type of amperage you can expect. Is there an actual gauge inside to show us how much amperage we're actually drawing off of the system when you're running tools like this?
I believe so, but I don't have it ready to pull up
Okay,
today.
no worries. But yeah, let's run some stuff. Let's see how this stuff works.
Sure. So with the Super Duty, to use Pro Power on board, like a generator, you have to get in and turn the engine on.
Okay.
You want to do it? You want me to
sure.
do it? Okay.
Cool. They got the little productivity desk right here, which is really nice. And I'm assuming the key's in it. This is a gas engine too, right? No, it's a diesel engine.
Yeah, this one's a diesel. So there's 2 ways to turn on the power in the bed. There's a switch right here on the dash, and it'll tell you.
Okay,
activated. Yeah, generator mode. There we go.
Basically telling you that it's using the engine to supply power to the outlets. Okay.
There's also a switch there in the bed as well, in case you forget.
Oh, so we didn't have to turn it on from in there if we didn't want to.
Yeah, that's right. You can do it in there or out here.
Okay.
So it's already on.
So you actually have a power strip connected to it as well.
Yeah, that's right. We've got a bunch of tools out here, so plugged them all into the power strip.
Okay.
So if you want to, we can flip on the compressor.
We'll do that one first. No problem at all?
Yes, over today and yesterday we filled it up from empty to full. No problems. It hasn't cut out. If you load the system, the truck doesn't break. It just trips the breaker. You have to go reset it.
Where do you reset the breaker at?
So it's on the screen in the cab.
Oh, okay, so it's a digital reset.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, a soft button there on the screen. So if you overload it, it just cuts out. You go in there, it'll tell you that the system was overloaded, and just hit reset.
Okay. Well, I hear it running, so I'm going to turn it off. We can turn on the table saw.
Sure. So it's this one stays in.
Okay. Very good. Then I guess you got this over here, so we got a miter saw. Very nice.
So I'll shut it off now.
He was in the middle of doing a regen.
Yep. So in addition to Pro Power on board, we've made some other changes for 23 model year.
Okay.
The bed is the business end of the truck. We know our customers are in and out of the bed trying to do all kinds of things with cargo or towing, you name it. So new for 23 are the steps, both here in the side of the bed, there in the bumper.
Well, one thing I like about the steps too, so a lot of people will say that these are pretty much like a copy of what General Motors is doing, but there's a big difference here, and one that that somebody told me about earlier. The fact that these steps are isolated from just being one pocket right here, which means you have this opening. So a lot of folks who use these steps, you may get mud and dirt and grime all over your boots, and whenever you're spraying these off, if it's just a closed pocket, you're spraying everything kind of back at you and it gets caught in there. But because it's all opened around here, all of that rock and grit and everything kind of falls through the back, which is really nice.
Additionally, here on the back, there's a handle that you can grab onto just there in the top of the bed rail to hop up onto the tailgate.
Got your measurements here as well.
Yeah, that's right. If you're cutting wood or working here on the tailgate. And then there's also, this was in the last Super Duty as well, the tailgate step. It's a little bit longer this time, so you don't have to bring your foot up quite as far when you're hopping in. So the team was just looking for ways to facilitate use of the bed, and we know our customers value being able to use it and be productive as possible when they're doing their work or out with their family on the weekends.
Yeah, very cool. I appreciate it. It's definitely a cool truck, and love having all the power on the back of the truck. It'd be cool at some point if they can integrate solar and batteries into all this so you don't have to keep the truck running, but until then, using it as a generator ain't a bad thing. Hey man, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much, Taylor.
Thank you.
Guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up. We'll talk to you again very soon.